Hi, this is Jill, and this is the Gentle Yoga Practice. This week, we're working with the theme of foundation. And this is really important because we need to have foundation in order to have support. So we'll be working with a little bit of strength as well. Let's go ahead and get started. So find yourself a comfortable seated position where you could sit upright. So maybe to you it looks like this, right? And you're using your hands. Any way that you can even sit on blankets. Also today we're going to be using the assistance of blocks. So if you have a couple of those, great. But if you don't, you can do it without it. I just like the extra height. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's use the hands to help us build this foundation of our seat, right? So pressing down, lift up as high as you can. And then we're gonna get the support of Mula Bandha or pelvic floor, right? So just pulling in on the muscles at the pelvic floor, right? And then a little above that, below the navel, Uddiyana Bandha. Uddiyana means flying upward. We draw the belly back and get a sense of lifting up. And then at the top of the spine, we just drop the chin down for a moment, Jalandhara Bandha or chin lock. We can seal in the energy. So now with these internal locks engaged, maybe you can let go of your hands and sit up tall. And we're just gonna focus on the breath. So visualize the rib cage, how it expands on the inhalation and how it relaxes on the exhalation. And now we're going to vibrate in the mantra Om, which is all the sounds of the universe. Om. Inhaling. Just as a sturdy foundation is crucial for the stability and longevity of a physical structure, a strong foundation is essential for a meaningful and fulfilling life. If the foundation is firm, the building can withstand calamities. The practice of yoga is the foundation so that the self is not shaken under any circumstances. Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. So really working with this theme of foundation to find this nice seat. And from there we can allow our bodies to move freer. And then by drawing our attention to the movement, we can get some good insights and maybe something that's going on. So sitting up tall, let's just focus on the foundation of the seat and then moving with the breath. So as you inhale, let the arms rise up and feel space. And then exhale, reach away. And do that a few times. So inhale, really reach up. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, reach away. And one more time. Inhale, big breath in. And a nice exhale as the hands come down. We're going to take a gentle neck stretch. So just keeping the left fingertips reaching down, reach up with your right hand. Let the right ear just drop down. And then gently, just let your hand hang on your head for a moment. It's just a little bit of weight. It's like you're pulling your left shoulder away from your left ear for a moment. And then gently just take the chin down and breathe here and just notice what's going on in your neck today. Can you find some space? And then inhale back up again. And then slowly rise. So we'll do that to the other side. You can go ahead and gently just let your head fall over to the left. And then gently just let your left hand rest on your head, right about the side of your head. And at the same time, reach that right shoulder away from your right ear. And just gently let the weight of your hand allow you to find this stretch in the neck. And slowly take the chin down Keep pulling your right shoulder away from your right ear. And then inhale, come back and come up to seated. And now we're going to find our way to all fours. So if you have blocks, we're going to use them now. So we move over to all fours. And I'm just going to put one block here and another there. So they're for our hands. And they're just going to give us a little bit of height. You might feel it a little differently. I'm trying to get a lot of lift today to help us to feel that foundation and that strength on all fours. So go ahead and round the spine. And notice it gives you a little bit of height to use the blocks. You don't have to have your toes tucked under. I kind of like that. It gives me the feeling of lifting more. And then inhale, start to come forward, and we'll start to arch the spine, coming into that cat-cow. This is the cow. And then exhale, cat round. And then inhale, coming forward and arch. And then exhale, come to neutral. We're going to come into a variation of child's pose, so your feet can be together and you can stay on the blocks. We're going to start to take the butt back. My butt doesn't go all the way to my heels anymore because of my osteoarthritis in my knees, so I'm honoring that. But it still feels like a really nice stretch, especially with the blocks here. Just let your body kind of melt down and notice your breath. You don't have to take your head all the way to the floor, just go where you can. And breathe into the entire back body. So inhale, feel the length of your arms reaching and your butt reaching back. And there's just a nice energy there. Inhaling and exhaling. And it's fully supported, right? Your butt's reaching back, your arms are reaching forward. And then inhale, come to all fours. Now from here, we're going to come into a kind of a moving structure, taking you into almost a very modified sun salutation move. So we're going to hover, see if you can hover the knees off and then put them down. Right when you do that, you feel the upper body engage. So try not to let the shoulder blades collapse, really push up. And then from there, we're going to come into downward facing dog. So we're going to allow the knees to come up and take it back to down dog. Just do the best you can here. You can have your knees bent. You could even have your feet really wide, right? And you can work with bending and straighten the knees a little bit. Just see how that feels. And then we're going to slowly come down to the floor. And we're going to come back into that cat position. And then we'll do a nice rounded position. I guess this is the cat position. And then one more time, we're going to come into that cow position. And from here, we're going to allow ourselves to come forward and just lift the sternum. This is like an upward facing dog on blocks. So keep the tail under, make sure your butt's not sticking out, and you're leading with the sternum. Don't take the head back, just lift straight up. And then now we're going to round the spine, really pull the belly in and take it back to down dog. So we're just going to move through this a few times. I'll take you through it really slowly. So come to all fours and then start to come into that arch, right? And then from there, we're just going to come forward, or you could stay in the arch, lift up. If you wanted to, you could point your toes here and lift up, keeping the tail under, lifting the sternum, or you could just stay where you were. And then we're going to round again. And then from here, we're going to take it back into downward facing dog. So just follow along. Come down to the knees. Come through, inhale, arch the back, and then maybe come forward, but that's up to you. Maybe point your toes, lift off, or stay where you were. And then we'll end in a rounded spine. And then from there, let's take the feet together again. Reach the arms forward, come back into your child's pose. And just breathe here, inhaling and exhaling. A couple more breaths, inhale and exhale. Let's slowly walk the blocks over to the left. And from here, you'll feel a nice stretch from the left pinky finger to the left butt. Actually, that's not correct. You'll feel a stretch from the right pinky finger to the right butt. And just feel that energy, that long line. And then we're going to walk the hands over to the right. And you feel that nice long stretch from the left pinky finger to the left butt, and just notice that. And then we'll slowly start to come up. And we're going to find ourselves now in Virasana. So I have to use a lot of assistance because of my osteoarthritis in my knees. There's very little space there. So I prop myself up. You could even prop yourself up higher if you needed to. Or you could just sit in a different position if this was not accessible to you. But I like to create a little space here as I come back. So I'm just creating space behind the knee, pushing down. And then I just find myself in Virasana, hero's pose. And it's a really nice pose because you can sit straight up. And then I'm going to take the hands in Yana Mudra, which I love because it connects your intuition with your inspiration and seals it in that circle. And then we'll just sit here for a moment, as straight as you can, and breathe. Inhalation and exhalation. Just notice your breath and go to that place. You have a firm foundation and you can just go deeper and deeper into breath and ease for a moment. Just notice that. And light. And then from here, you can slowly, staying in that energy, reach the arms up. Inhale. And just reach up as high as you can. For now, keep your focus down your nose and gaze straight ahead. And just notice you're rooting down, but lifting up. And can you take your arms back, back, back? And then from there, start to lift the sternum. Maybe your head starts to come along here. Just reaching, breathing, gently gazing down the nose, inhaling and exhaling. Keep breathing. And then slowly finding your way back to prayer position. You can pause here and just close your eyes and notice how the body's feeling. And then from there, we're going to slowly transition back to the knees. You could take your blocks and place them back where they were. We're just going to stretch out the legs a little and come into downward facing dog. So you can tuck the toes under and walk back. Just kind of, you might need that after that position. Just notice what's going on. You can even kind of pedal your feet. And then we'll slowly come down to the floor and we're going to find ourselves in a seated position. So we'll just turn the legs around and have the feet right in front of you. And for a moment, just sit up really tall. You can hold the back of your legs here and sit up and just notice what's going on. With the hands, it's really accessible. And then exhale, start to curl your spine back. Feel how the belly draws back. And then inhale, sit way up again. And then exhale, curl your spine back. Pull the belly way in. Maybe this time you don't use your hands as much and come up. Maybe this time you don't use them at all, but that's up to you. Curl back. And slowly coming up. And then from here, we're going to come into a nice restorative forward bend. So you could take your blocks, whatever level works for you, and just sitting up tall first. So you could bend your knees to start to come forward and see if you can straighten your legs. And maybe you're just here and your head can come down once you found that. Once you get your length, right, you could just drop the head. And make sure you're engaging your legs. Do the best you can. And breathe. You might find as you're here, you find a little bit more length, but just go to where you're feeling a nice stretch and you're not overdoing it. And breathe. Inhale, breathe into the back body. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, feel the body release. And then inhale now, lift up and lengthen. And again, you could bend the knees if you needed to, just nice and supported, right? We're gonna sit way up. And then from here, we're gonna do a curl back. So sit up really tall and exhale, start to curl your spine back. Curl, curl, curl. See if you can straighten your legs at some point. Curl. Now you could use your hands here. That's not a problem. And then curl and come back up again. That's some good support, drawing in, right? To support your back, stretching from within. So really pull the belly in. The spine can round here. Curl, curl. You could use your hands and curl and come back up again. We're going to do it one more time, and this time come all the way down. So sitting up, exhale, start to curl the spine back, curling, curling, curling. Use your hands if you need to, and we'll come all the way down. And then from here, I'm just going to get back on the mat again. Let's bend the knees and come into a bridge. So now the pelvis is curling to come up. So we're really stretching that out, supporting it by pulling the belly in. Lift up. Lift up as high as you can. And you could hold on to the sides of your mat. You don't want to squish your shoulder blades together too much. You want to, they're drawing towards each other a bit, but there's also a widening going on, right? So that you can keep the neck long. You don't want your head back or forward, right in the middle. The neck is long. And lift up, feel the support of the back muscle, the back of the legs, right? The hamstrings, the glutes, lifting you up. And then slowly start to curl down. And feel all that length, pulling the belly in, all the way down. Let's do that again. Inhale, exhale, tuck under, lift up, 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 up. Now this time, let's reach the arms really long as you can. And then exhale, start to come down from the upper back first, curling, 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 all the way down. And then let the hands go down. And then from here, just gently, let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. And we're gonna just, you could stay here if you were getting a good stretch, or we're just gonna pull in. And you can encourage the opening of that right knee with the right elbow. Just kind of open that out and breathe here. Keep pulling in. Inhale, exhale, see if you can go a little deeper. That's it. And just breathe. Nice glute stretch. And then from here, we're gonna take it into a twist. So inhale here, exhale, let's go to the left first. So you're putting the right foot onto the floor if you can. And then you look straight up, or maybe it feels good to look to your right. Just do what feels good in your body and breathe. Inhale here, exhale, let it come up. And we're gonna gently just go to the other side. So now you're pulling your left knee down with your right foot. And maybe you take your gaze straight up, or maybe over to the left, and just breathe here. And then inhale, let that come up. We're gonna switch sides. So crossing the left ankle over the right knee, you could stay here, or pulling in. And gently, with the left elbow, opening that knee. Just see how that feels. Breathing, pulling in, inhale, filling up, exhale, pulling in a little bit more. And one more breath. Hands out to the side, inhale, and exhale. Go ahead and take the left foot over to the floor. Make sure your props aren't in the way. And breathe. You can look straight up or over to the left. And then inhale, letting the leg come up. And we're gonna go the other way. So you might need to lift your hips up and shift a little, that's okay. But I'm using my left ankle to pull my right knee down. You could gaze straight up or maybe over your right shoulder. And just release. And then let it come back up again. You could pull your knees into your chest. You could kind of rock around a little bit, whatever you needed to do. Maybe even grab your feet and just let things release. And now we're slowly just make your way into Savasana. So just feeling really open now. We've used the body, right? We had a lot of strength going on, and now you just release. And stay in that place of just openness and light. And you could stay here as long as you can or want to. I'm going to go ahead and take us out though, so just become aware of your breath. Slowly moving fingers, toes. And as you're ready, bending the knees, you could kind of lift up and come to your side in a fetal position, but just pause there, taking your time. Slowly making your way up to seated and finding your comfortable seated position. Take a moment, just take a moment, close the eyes, feeling the foundation and the effects of the practice on the body, the structure, and on the mind, the inside. And let this resonate in everything you do. Namaste.